in June of 2022, a YouTuber named Chris Hill uploaded a chilling video titled Exploring Westinghouse Factory at Night to his channel Urbex Hill. His channel is dedicated to urban exploration, and he often shares footage exploring various haunted and abandoned locations across the United States. In this particular video, Chris chose to explore an abandoned factory known as the Westinghouse Factory situated in Cleveland, Ohio. Constructed in 1915, the Westinghouse Factory was a significant manufacturing facility that played a crucial role in the development of electrical equipment during the early to mid-20th century. During World War II, the factory also contributed to the development of nuclear power technology, which would later become crucial in both military and civilian energy sectors. However, after the war, demand for military production declined, leading to the gradual closure of the factory's facilities throughout the 1950s and 1960s. Finally, the Westinghouse factory in Cleveland officially shut down in 1989 and has remained abandoned ever since. After being abandoned for over 35 years, the factory is considered a hotspot for criminal activity and has been known to have issues with squatters and homeless individuals seeking shelter. Despite all this, Chris decided to explore the abandoned factory alone in the middle of the night. As Chris begins his exploration, he immediately notices the building is in a very rough state. Many structures inside appear severely damaged, some even on the verge of collapsing. As Chris ventures deeper into the building, he discovers a bed lying in the middle of the factory, indicating that someone might be living there, but he doesn't encounter anyone or anything unusual. However, about 15 minutes into his exploration, as he was walking through the lower level, he started hearing some pretty bizarre noises, and that's when Chris stumbled upon something truly disturbing.
Something. Maybe it's an animal. I'm sure there's animals down here. You know what would suck? If I ran into a stray dog down here. What? Is somebody... What is that noise? I don't know if you guys hear that, but... What the hell is that?
After hearing the noises, Chris initially dismissed them as an animal walking around in the factory. But after hearing the same sound several more times, he decided to investigate its source and head in the direction of the sound. During his investigation, he discovered numerous bullet casings scattered across the floors, suggesting that something sinister might have transpired in the factory. After finding the bullet shells, Chris didn't back down and continued his investigation. However, as he made his way into one of the rooms, he made a shocking discovery.
So wet. Oh, scared the out of me. Yo, you need some help, bro? Yo. That. He's not even responding. I'm gonna leave him alone. Get the out of his way. Damn, bro, that's crazy.
As Chris walked into one of the rooms, he was startled to see a man hunched over at the far end. Despite his initial shock, Chris politely called out to the man, asking if he needed any help. Disturbingly, the man remained motionless and didn't respond. Uncertain if the man posed a threat, Chris immediately left the room and started exploring other areas of the factory. However, he couldn't shake the feeling of sadness for the man's circumstances and the poor conditions he seemed to be living in. As a result, Chris decided to return to the room and offer the man some money.
That's actually kind of sad. You know what? I'm gonna help that dude out. I'm gonna leave him some money. I'm gonna give this dude a $20 bill. Be real cautious though. I don't want to wake him up and freak him out. Yo, hey, I got some money for you. Shit, he's not there. And he's not responding.
When Chris went back to the room to give the man some money, the man had vanished. Chris searched everywhere, but the man was nowhere to be found. This detail was particularly alarming, given that squatters and homeless individuals could pose a threat to unwanted visitors. The man probably knew the ins and outs of the factory better than Chris, and could easily be hiding to attack or ambush him at any given moment. Nonetheless, Chris continued his exploration. As he was walking around the basement, he suddenly encountered bats flying around him, and that's when things started to get even more disturbing.
Let's keep going. There's a lot of bats down here too. Damn.
If you look closely at the moment when Chris walks into the basement, you can clearly see the same man hiding inside one of the rooms. But Chris was completely unaware of this detail. It wasn't until he uploaded the video that his viewers noticed the man hiding and watching him this whole time. Chris, oblivious to the man's presence, continued his exploration, and that's when he encountered the man once again.
Oh shit. Oh, look. Damn, there's a bunch of homeless people down here. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Shit. Damn, I'm tripping. Yo, what? Alright, I'm gonna leave him alone. He said something, but I can't tell what that is in his hand, so yeah, let me just go. I'm hearing somebody over there too now. Yeah, there's a bunch of homeless people in here. Oh shit, do you hear that? Damn. Like, this is what it looks like with my own eyes, about maybe like this. Like right here. Oh shit. Somebody's down here. I heard somebody's cell phone. Damn it. I know y'all heard that.
After Chris saw the man walking out of the factory, he immediately decided to leave the building and end his exploration. As he was trying to leave, he suddenly heard a phone vibrate, suggesting that there were probably more people hiding inside the factory. It's still unclear who the man was, or whether he posed a threat. However, based on the man's behavior that night, he was likely a squatter or a homeless individual who didn't want any visitors. Initially, the man left the room shortly after Chris saw him hunched over. He then began hiding in various rooms, and when Chris still didn't leave, the man ran out of the factory. Fortunately for Chris, neither the man nor the other individuals inside attacked him, and he managed to safely escape the Westinghouse factory in Cleveland. After uploading this video, Chris returned to the Westinghouse factory 3 years later in February of 2025 to see if the man he had encountered previously was still living there.
This is where I saw that dude at. This is a creepy ass place. This is where that homeless dude was standing. Standing right here. Probably came from those stairs.
Unfortunately for Chris, despite investigating the various rooms where he'd previously encountered the man, he didn't see or hear anything suggesting the man was still there. Thinking the man had probably left the factory by this point, Chris decided to end his investigation and leave the factory. However, as he was walking out, that's when his camera captured something truly disturbing.
There's gotta be somebody in here.
If you look closely at the point when Chris was trying to leave, you can clearly see someone walking from one room to another. However, Chris didn't notice this detail at the time. It wasn't until he went back home and reviewed the footage that he saw someone walking at the far end. It's still unclear if this was the same person Chris had encountered during his previous visit, or whether this was another squatter or homeless individual who was now living in the factory. Regardless of the man's identity, it's very probable that future explorers will have a similar encounter as Chris when they visit the Westinghouse factory in Cleveland.
What the hell is this? Fucking hell, it sounded like a little girl. I don't know what it was, I don't know. It sounded like a little girl. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck!
In October of 2023, a YouTuber named Colin uploaded a terrifying video titled "Exploring an Abandoned Hospital at Night" to his channel, The Bearded Explorer. Colin's channel primarily focuses on urban exploration, and he frequently posts footage of his strange and bizarre encounters while exploring various haunted and abandoned locations throughout the UK. In this particular video, Colin decided to explore an abandoned hospital known as the Royal Hospital Haslar, situated in Gosport, England. Opened in 1753, the Royal Hospital Haslar was the first naval hospital in the UK and the largest in the world at the time. For over 250 years, the hospital provided essential medical care to military personnel. It was specifically designed to care for the sick and wounded sailors of the Royal Navy. However, over the years, the hospital faced a period of decline due to financial constraints and a number of other key factors. In July 2009, the Royal Hospital Haslar officially closed its doors after serving the military for 256 years. Since then, the hospital has been completely abandoned for over a decade and has been actively linked with paranormal activity. One of the most commonly reported apparitions is that of a nurse who tragically died in the hospital during World War I. Many visitors and paranormal enthusiasts claim to have seen her spirit wandering the halls, along with reports of strange occurrences such as unexplained noises, cold spots, and feelings of being watched. Despite all this, Colin chose to investigate the hospital alone in the middle of the night. He began his exploration by entering the hospital through the basement. Once inside, he immediately noticed the hospital's terrible condition, with crumbling walls and ceilings, as well as red stains on the floors. As he explored further, he found several medical equipment and machines abandoned and left exactly as they once were. However, just 5 minutes into his exploration, as he was walking through one of the rooms, he suddenly noticed a door closing on its own, and this is when things started to take a very disturbing turn for Colin.
And behind me, that's from the docks. Well, they used to bring the injured sailors on here. If they could be treated, they would be taken into the wards. And if they couldn't, they would go straight down to the church. And there is a mass grave out there. 10,000 people buried. Absolutely mind-blowing. I can't express to you like how creepy this place is walking around on your own. I can't help but feel that there's somebody walking right behind me. It's really, really creepy. And what we're going to do, we're going to walk through this area and we're going to have a look in there first, and then we're going to go upstairs and check out all the MRI scanners. Okay, that was weird. That door has just closed. But there is absolutely no wind in here whatsoever. What the hell was that? Okay, that was really, really creepy. I've only been here literally 5 minutes and that's happened. I'm going to get out of this area because that was actually really scary. I don't know what that was.
After Colin saw the door close on its own, he couldn't comprehend how it had mysteriously moved, especially since there was no wind coming from any open windows. Disturbingly, as Colin went upstairs, he again noticed a curtain moving despite the lack of wind. Nevertheless, Colin didn't think much of these strange occurrences and continued exploring. However, as he entered the basement, that's when he started hearing some pretty bizarre noises.
This is one of my favourite parts of Haslar. And like I said before, there is a very sad story to a nurse who actually committed suicide here. Her name was Mary. After the death of a child that she was caring for, and she from the top and sadly passed away here. Very, very sad story. Now, there are a lot of sad stories of this place. Okay, so we are now at the bottom of the spiral staircase. I love looking up this. It's so cool. We're now going into the basement. Let's go down this way. The fuck was that? That's a pigeon. Oh yeah, probably was coming through that window. I don't like being in here though, I must admit. Oh, I don't think we'll bother going up there today. I swear I just heard something then. Definitely not going up there now.
After Colin heard the noises, he initially dismissed them as belonging to a pigeon. However, after hearing a similar noise again, he immediately left the basement and went upstairs. As he explored the upper levels, he started hearing the noises once again.
And it's quite nice to see that everything is still here. Still crazy to think that all of this stuff is in here, all the paperwork. Oh my God, what the hell was that? It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's no one there. Whoa, okay, freak out. Whew, okay. There's nobody there. It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's nobody there. There is nobody there. Whew, okay, that was a little bit scary. So I feel like I want to check every room now just to make sure there's no one in here, because that was really weird. Hello? Why do I do this to myself?
After Colin heard the loud bang, he stared intently towards the direction of the noise. He then stepped outside the room to investigate its source, but he found nothing that could have caused such a noise. By this point, Colin was consumed by fear and anxiety over everything he was witnessing that night. He eventually built up his courage and got back to exploring the remaining parts of the hospital. But little did Colin know that what he was about to encounter next would be far worse than anything he'd witnessed before.
Supporting the rhino. That sounded like footsteps. Like that, what I'm doing now, that's exactly what I just heard. Right, I'm getting out of this bit. That was really, really horrible. Now I think the operating theatre is this one on the right here. Is it that one? Yes. What the fuck was that? Okay, that was weird. That was really, really, really weird. Oh, God. I can't tell you how scared I am at the moment. Oh, God, I've just got to laugh about it, though.
As Colin heard the footsteps, he immediately went towards the noise to investigate its source, but once again, he found nothing that could have caused them. After yet another failed investigation, Colin started walking in the opposite direction from where he'd heard the footsteps, and this is when he encountered something that completely changed the course of his investigation.
Oh God, this is so scary, honestly, guys. If you've never tried this before, the adrenaline rush you get from it is phenomenal, it really is. But at the same time, it is very, very scary. My heart is racing 10 to the dozen at the moment. Right, I think this is the way out here. Right, I don't know if you heard that then, but that fucking sounded like... Hello? This is absolute bullshit. There is no way I just fucking heard that. I'm sorry I'm swearing, guys, but I do swear when I get scared. What the hell is this? Hell, it sounded like a little girl. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It sounded like a little girl. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Fuck! Oh fuck! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? There's no way that has just happened. There is no way that is. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What the hell? What the hell? Right, you've just seen that with your own eyes. I have not touched that. There is nobody else here. What the fuck was that? How the hell did that happen? Okay, that was really, really scary. I didn't like that. Right, I really want to get out of here now.
After Colin heard the loud bang and stepped outside the room, the door in front of him mysteriously closed on its own. When he went toward the door to investigate, he found nothing that could have caused it to slam shut with such force. Terrified for his life, Colin immediately rushed out the door and decided to end his exploration. However, as Colin was trying to leave, that's when he encountered something that sent him running out of the building.
I think that's a dead end up. Is that a dead end? No, that's a dead end up there. We go... Fuck that! What the fuck was that? What the fuck? Hang on. Whoa, 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 no. What the fuck is going on? It sounds like loads of people fucking running. What the fuck is going on? There is no way that just happened. There is no way. There is fucking no way that just happened. There's no one fucking in there. There's no way anyone could have been in there. Okay, I am fucking getting out of here. Fuck that. I'm gone.
If you look closely at the point when Colin initially looks towards the cupboard, its door is shut. But just seconds later, as he looks back at it, the cupboard door mysteriously opens. Colin initially runs off, but he does come back to investigate. To his surprise, the door that had just opened had mysteriously closed again. Colin immediately rushes out of the building and safely makes it back to his car. It's still a mystery if what Colin experienced that night was paranormal, as none of the encounters he experienced have been verified or debunked. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide whether the Royal Hospital Haslar in England was truly haunted or not.